What's up, everyone? Strong lead hook here, picking up right after where we left off. I'm just gonna clean up this area, and I've fought this boss many times before. Shouldn't be too bad. Kept on dying over and over again earlier. Looking for a good way to get at him. There is actually quite a bit of things to do here, especially outside, so I might want to work from the outside in. Didn't want to fight this guy till later. I plan on farming this area for some souls, but I'm sick of this level. Time for me to move on, I think. So we are gonna get this guy, use him as a summon for the boss. Then we're gonna change this out to something more applicable. Maybe this one. This is good too. Prayer beads, melee damage. Anima gauge. Amrita gauge charge. This guy is weak to water, this boss. You might ask yourself, why do I not use the yokai shift? Like this one. Well, because I don't think about it. That's why. Amrita. I could slap two things of luck on there. This would be really good. Then this one I would just do. This one's a pretty good one. Proficiency bonus. This one could be a really good one too. That water damage. Untouched ninjutsu, and then you do magic power. No, I'm not gonna waste too much on this because that is a lot of resources to use. Time for me to do some inventory management. Always get rid of the yellows. Something like that should be disassembled.
いらっしゃい。
Then we're just gonna disassemble a few things here. Let's look at the types. This would be a good one to upgrade right here. Enemies defeated versus familiarity. Yeah, I'll just do a soul. No, that'll be too expensive for gold. Too expensive for gold. Why not? Just get rid of it. No, I'm not gonna get rid of that. I only upgrade because of the passives, but I could just replace the passives. Might be cheaper too. I'll hold on to that. Damn, I didn't upgrade this. Yeah, I'm not gonna get rid of that. Damn. These ones are pretty good ones, so I don't want to get rid of them. Pretty rare item. I have a hard time parting ways with these rare items with really good passives. I'm never gonna use most of these, and I just cannot bring myself to part ways with it like a hoarder. Straight up hoarding behavior. You know, I might end up doing one more Twilight mission. The drops are really good. You cannot deny that. Gonna have to upgrade my gear if I'm gonna fight a Nobunaga. Getting rid of all these purples. I haven't looked it up, like how to beat them or nothing like that. I get rid of the purples as well because if their level is so low to where it's just not reasonable to hold on to it, because it would cost so much gold to upgrade it. So it's not good to, it's not worth it. Let's replace our gear real quick. The stats on this one is better. Yeah, the stats on this one is just better. I'm looking for the toughness, but I guess if I want, I could just replace the passive stats to where, or I could upgrade my gear again instead of getting rid of it. Just do some soul matching. Yeah, I think I'll just this one's really good, but I would lose the bonuses that I have already. I guess I'll have to soul match. Still have to soul match even if you could try to optimize as much as you can, but you'll still have to soul match. That's okay. That's okay, that's fine. There's nothing that I saw anyway that
いらっしゃい。
this one's really good. You can't really just get rid of it. Just as long as you don't break the bank. you know. 100,000. The way to do it is to just do it a little bit at a time. Greater good. $95,000. I'm not so sure that's a good idea. $74 to $78. Jumping up 4 levels. See, that's a good deal. That right there is a good deal. You do bone pile. You do another bone pile. 86. Jumping up 3 levels. Or I could just switch over to that weapon. Right, instead of soul matching, I'll just use that one. What was I using before? Was it this one? Guard key consumption, melee key damage. I'm jumping down 3 levels right here, but this one has melee key damage, which I do like. Melee key damage, but the other one has key consumption, mid attack key consumption, which I do tend to use a lot. Okay, so we'll do the weapon first. Replacing the passives. What time is it? Mid attack key consumption. That's good enough. High guard key consumption. Low guard key I use low guard more than high guard, so that makes more sense to do that. Greater good. Let's do, you know what? Let's just look at we're gonna look up Nobunaga. Key recovery bonus. Or we could do projectile damage. This is the one that gets me a lot. My apologies, everyone. I'm just looking up what his weaknesses are. So he uses a lot of fire and lightning. Fire and lightning is what he uses. So we can keep this. But let's look at this one. Yep, the greaves. Don't need gold or nothing like that. Defense. Untouched ninjutsu, maybe. He doesn't use water. I don't want to use another don't want to have to use another or a quality umbracite. That's already good. That's already good too. So this puts us at the 45-minute mark. But we're just gonna go ahead and finish this right here. Maybe this is where I should go. Untouched ninjutsu. Or more fire resistance. Yeah. I think it's worth the investment, and then we'll do more fire resistance here. Because he uses a lot of fire. And then as far as the accessories are concerned, anima charged. Life drain and jutsu hit. Oh man. So if your ninjutsu hits, you get a life drain. I wonder if you know what? Fuck it. Because you throw a kunai and it hits him, and you're getting a fucking life boost. Decisions. Let's leave that alone for now. But this one was a good thing to upgrade. This one's a good thing. I wonder how I could get more quality umbrasite. I can probably just make it, in all honesty. Untouched elixir. I'm trying to do it to where all of the passives build off of one another. Untouched elixir 13.5%. It means that every 10 that I use, 1 will not be used. So, I mean, I don't know how that's gonna help. Saturation accumulation, so I could use water on him. And then I used Nioh magic power. To further boost my water talismans. That might be a good idea. Hang on, before we start doing all this stuff, let's quality umbrasite. How do we do quality umbrasite? How do we make quality umbrasites? There's got to be a way to do it. I refuse to believe that I just have to wait for it to fall out of the fucking sky. I might have to look this up. I don't believe it. So I can do the umbrasite, but I can't do the quality umbrasite. I don't believe that. Lightning Imamori. This would help with him.
何か探し物?
Yes, I'm looking for your quality umbrasites. I might as well pick it up. Switch out this medicine case for the other medicine case. So we'll do this one. I wonder if you can soul match. No, you can't. No, you cannot soul match accessories. Where are we at? 50 minutes. We are gonna go ahead and end our video right here. Okay. If you say so. I feel really bummed out that I recorded a bunch of bunch of gameplay, but because I
どう
completely
すれば
o- because I completely overlooked that it does not record party and share screen or screen share, whatever you want to call it. It did not record it. And that is something I definitely should have known, but it's whatever. It is what it is. But the majority of the uploads in this channel are video games and Nioh 2 gameplay. Um, when I did the party thing with my friend, and we did the screen share, we talked a lot about random things, video games, and the Bible too, which might be strange to some of you that a gamer type of person also tends to read the Bible a lot. I think there's quite a few gamers, I think, that are closet Christians. Like, since they play video games a lot, they don't want to be judged by other Christians, so they don't talk about their faith. And I'm kind of the same way. Um, I'm kind of in that same boat. Not the part where I'm ashamed, but the part where I want to keep my religious life and my hobbies separate. Because for me, my faith is not a hobby. It is how I get through the day. It is how I live my life. And that doesn't mean that I'm a better person than anybody. That doesn't mean that I'm a good person. It's just it's how I get through the day, you know. That spiritual life. I've got some welding footage that I need to edit and start uploading as well. Oh, by the way, when I in the last video I talked about Tom Hanks, how he switched over to MAGA. I did not watch that SNL skit, but I guess what had happened was they were making fun of the MAGA folks, and it backfired in some way. I don't know what way, but I guess it backfired. But I guess I would be wrong on that assumption. But I don't care. I don't care about these people. I mean, Tom Hanks, he's you guys already know what he did. He's on that he hung out with a person with a name that rhymes with Shepstein. You know, with a guy named Schmermy Schmepstein. If you catch my drift. I need to get back into Path of Exile. I see these clips of these podcasts where I can't remember what the podcast is called, but there's two white guys and there's a bunch of girls and they're like models or OnlyFans people, and it's just the dudes ragging on these women and telling them that they're incredibly promiscuous and their way of life is not good and this and that. But I look at Jesus and how he dealt with the adulterous woman and the woman with 5 husbands, and he was very genteel with them and just kind to them. He showed them lots of love, and they showed him lots of love in return. All of the men, Jesus' disciples, all of his apostles, when he was crucified, they all basically abandoned him, minus John. But the women, they did not. leave him. They did not abandon him when he was being crucified. And these women were, I don't know what their background is, but that's something to think about. And it's the sin of hypocrisy, right? Like you're rebuking people. You don't agree with how they do things in their lifestyle, but little do you know you've already done the same thing as they have, and you're not any better. One of the guys on the podcast proclaims to be a Christian, but I've never heard his testimony. I've never heard him preach the gospel. How do I know he's a Christian? Because he said so. So, nothing against them, but that's just, I call a spade a spade. I call a spade a spade. You know, those women probably ended up where they are in life because of men like you. You you throw the book at them, you virtue signal, and then you betray them in some fashion. And the women don't know what to do. They're just like, oh, okay, I guess I'll sleep around. And then the men will turn around and be like, why are you sleeping around? You're a hoe. But people are people, you know. What are you gonna do? For the next video, I want to discuss my thoughts on there's people that I know, people that are very close to me, and they find themselves in environments where it is very anti-religion. And of course, there is an authority figure in this environment that is very anti-God. And there is an implication that if everyone else doesn't play along, there will be repercussions. You know, because the guy is going to be vindictive. That is something that is on my mind a lot. But I say that word a lot too, but. B-U-T. Anyways, don't forget to like and subscribe if you want. If you want to subscribe. If you don't want to, that's okay too. I don't really care. Good night.